Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tower of God New World. In today's video, we are going to talk about the two upcoming units coming in the Fall Festival update. So if you guys don't know, the update is literally in 2 days, and I'm really excited. It's going to be a rerun of the Fall Festival event we had last year. So if you are a new player, and if you didn't have the opportunity to participate in the Fall Festival we had last September in 2023, you'll be able to participate in a Fall Festival rerun event, which is coming in 2 days, which is really dope. So you see this sick background right here. You'll be able to obtain this background for the next update, which is really awesome. So besides the next update, I wanted to talk about the two next characters, Reflejo and Khun Asensio. So if you guys don't know, those two characters, they're going to be warrior units. And Khun Asensio, he's going to be a light element SSR plus unit, and Reflejo is going to be a purple element unit, purple element warrior unit. So you guys already know when it comes to warrior characters, there's like a curse when it comes to warrior units. And the curse is that warrior characters, they're just not that good long term because their revolution based nodes, it just doesn't really benefit them. A perfect example is Joaquin. So when we take a look at Joaquin right here, ignore my ignition weapon. Don't even pay attention to this shitty ass ignition weapon. Don't pay attention to this. But Joaquin, he was literally like the most overpowered warrior unit in the game. Like, I still think he is the strongest warrior character for sure. Like, he is definitely strong. But he fell off due to the fact that when we take a look at his revolution system, his base nodes, they're just not good. And it's not even just his base nodes, it's just that the warrior class base node is just not good for DPS warrior units. So what I mean by base nodes is when we take a look at these base nodes, so for base node 1, it says effect resistance increase. Base node 2, evasion increase. Base node 3, lifesteal. Base node 4, HP increase. Base node 5, crit damage increase. Base node 6, defense increase. 7, crit resistant, 8 special move resistant, and 9 max cooldown reduction. So you guys can clearly see what's wrong here. The problem is that he doesn't have any sort of damage increase stat for his base node. Like, it's just survivability for his base nodes. He doesn't have attack increase. The only thing that's increasing his damage is the crit damage increase. But the thing about the crit damage increase is that the max level is level 10. So I leveled up to level 5, and I was only able to get 6.5% crit damage increase. And when you take a look at all of the levels, so once you reach level 10, you're only going to get 23.7% crit damage increase. That's solid, but like, this is the only thing that's going to amplify his damage in his revolution. Other than that, you look at the rest of these base nodes, it's nothing but survivability. So it's pretty obvious that what Netmarble is trying to do here, when it comes to warrior characters, they're trying to make warrior characters like, debuffing units. And there's nothing wrong with that, but they're also trying to make, DPS warrior characters because, Joaquin exists. When you take a look at his kit, it's nothing but damage in his kit. So they should have definitely, for Joaquin, they should have definitely added, damage increase in his revolution base notes, like attack increase, special move pierce increase. Like, he is a DPS character, so making him tanky, it just doesn't match his kit because he's a DPS unit. So that's one of the main reasons why a warrior class is cursed, because of the revolution base notes. It just doesn't match DPS characters. But when it comes to, debuffing units, so Reflejo, he is going to be a debuffing a purple element warrior unit. So the base nodes that, for warrior class is definitely going to benefit a Reflejo. It's definitely going to benefit him because you want him to stay alive as much as possible. So therefore, adding the max cooldown reduction, special move resistance, crit hit resistance, defense, crit damage increase, these are going to benefit a Reflejo because he is a debuffing unit. And if for Khun Asensio, they said that for Khun Asensio, he's going to be a tanky Like, he's going to be a tanky warrior unit that's going to focus on, I'm pretty sure they said he's going to shred enemies' physical resistance, and he's also going to deal some damage as well, which is going to be really good for light element. So, no, it's pretty obvious that for these two characters, they're not going to be pure damage dealing units. I feel like for Khun Asensio, he's probably going to be a very, tanky warrior unit that's actually going to deal some pretty solid damage, very similar to Data Zahard. But for Reflejo is going to be a pure debuffing unit. Like, they said that he's going to reduce evasion, he's going to reduce the enemy's, I think, physical resistance as well, and he's also going to pierce through their physical resistance. I completely forgot. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the dev note real quick so I can remind you guys what they can do real quick. All right, so for SSR Reflejo, so this is what he can do. It says that he's going to be a frontline debuffer bruiser. It says that additionally, he absorbs shadow fragments, which increases his physical penetration and reduces the damage he takes. And it says his basic attacks are designed to hit multiple targets, and the final basic attack reduces the evasion of the target by a percentage. It also says right here, in addition, his special move, which has an exceptional range, is equipped with a crowd control effect that causes enemies to be knocked into the air, delivering a gratifying blow. So for Reflejo, this guy is going to be a frontline debuffer bruiser. He's not going to be a DPS unit. But what I find really interesting is the physical penetration. This is what I find really interesting about a Reflejo's kit. Like, I feel like this is going to allow him to do some pretty solid damage because he's going to be able to penetrate through the enemy's physical defense. So that's actually pretty solid. Now for Khun Asensio, it says right here for Khun Asensio, melee type warrior of yellow element with area of effect abilities. And it says he has the typical blue hair and handsome face of the Khun family, which adds to his charm. If we continue, it says with his unique flying fish spear technique, Asensio attacks enemies using two independent flying fish that reduce their physical resistance. And it says while the flying fish is present on the battlefield, his skill effects are amplified, allowing for even more powerful damage. So I do feel like for Khun Asensio, he is going to be a pretty solid damage dealing a tanky unit. Very, very similar to who's a really good tanky DPS unit. I'll say Punisher in. Punisher is a tanky DPS character, so I will say Khun Asensio is kind of similar to Punisher. He's going to shred physical resistance, and he's also going to deal some pretty solid damage. And this is what it says right here. It says he can increase his own resistance and create a barrier that blocks projectile attacks, making him well-rounded in both survivability and tanking. With these survival skills, he is designed to bring new energy to yellow element decks, which is really interesting. So they're pretty much saying that Khun Asensio is going to be, a key unit for yellow element. He's going to be a key unit, pair him up with Kunadon, block projectile attacks, shred physical resistance, deal some pretty insane damage. It's pretty obvious that this guy's going to be a very powerful warrior unit. Now, if we come back over to the game real quick, go back to Tower of God New World gameplay. So, for Reflejo, the Revolution base note for Reflejo, it's not going to be too bad. Like, since he is going to be a debuffer, a bruiser type unit, this wouldn't be too bad for him. But for Khun Asensio, since they're saying that he's going to deal some powerful damage, this is just not going to benefit Khun Asensio at all. Like, there is literally no attack increase in here. It's just effect resistance, evasion, lifesteal, HP, special move resistance, max cooldown reduction. Like, there's nothing here that's going to improve his damage, only the crit damage increase, and that's pretty much it. And plus, since he is an SSR plus unit, you'll be able to max it out to level 20. So actually, wait, for level 10 it's 23.7, and then for level 20 for SSR plus it's 90%. So he's gonna get like a 90% crit damage increase for the crit damage base node. Like, this is the only thing that's going to amplify his damage. So, I mean, we don't know their kit. We don't know exactly what they can do yet. But based off of what I've seen so far, it's 100% obvious that Reflejo is going to be a debuffing unit, and then Khun Asensio is going to be a tank, like a warrior tanky DPS character, which is very interesting overall. And I do feel like light element, they definitely needed a unit that's going to have great survivability and at the same time, deal some great damage as well. Because for my light element team, I'm only using Yi-Ring, Evan, Bomb, and I'll say Hats as well. I don't even use Iwa. I do use Compressed Drag. I do use him. He's still strong on my account, but I really don't use this character anymore. I don't use Iwa. She just dies immediately, which sucks. But for Kunadon, I'm thinking about picking Kunadon for the non-stop SR plus limit break event because my Kaiser is at 1 purple star, and she's strong. Like, she is strong with 1 purple star, but like Kunadon is like my light element. I feel like Kunadon is going to be very, very good with Asensio. Like, imagine Asensio tanking, spreading physical resistance, and at the same time dealing great damage alongside with Kunadon is going to be crazy. And one of the main reasons why Kunadon is just so crazy is his ultimate. So his ultimate is HP percent base, which means that it says right here, hitting the enemy with the lowest current HP to deal 37.5% of that enemy's max HP as damage. So the more you progress, the stronger he becomes, which is insane because his special move deals damage based off of the enemy's max HP, which is really, really good. So Kunadon, I might pick him for the non-stop SR plus a limit break event for my light element team. But yeah, man, it's a lot of speculation, but I will say, are these two units going to be good? I don't know. For Reflejo, I have a huge feeling that Reflejo is actually going to be pretty nice. Like, evasion decrease, that's pretty solid for a purple element, because I do feel like for purple element, we don't really have a lot of debuffing units for purple element. If I filter this out to purple element real quick, yeah, when we take a look at purple element, I mean, we have Gusting. He's pretty much like a cleanser and a healer. Karaka, he's pretty much there to provoke the enemy and fear them. Joaquin is just a damage dealer. Khun Mashni is just a damage dealer. Kaseya, damage dealer as well. VV, damage dealer. Yeah, we don't really have a lot of debuffing units for purple element. So I will say Reflejo is definitely going to be a nice addition to purple element with that evasion decrease, the physical penetration, and his ultimate has crowd control effects. That's going to be pretty solid. So I will say, my purple element team, I'm currently using Kaseya, Vivi, Hayura, Joaquin, and Vargarv, Mad Dog. But I might replace my Kaseya with Reflejo because of his utility. Like, he's definitely going to be beneficial for purple element. So I'm really excited for Reflejo. But for Asensio, for my light element, yeah, Asensio, I feel like Asensio, he's going to be pretty solid because light element needs a lot of work. Like, the only units that are pretty much popping off for light element is Kunadon, Yi-Ring. Yi-Ring is insane. Evan is still amazing. Compressed Drag, still decent. Tank Hats, pretty solid. I will say at the early phase of the game, Tank Hats deals insane damage, but the more you progress, he's pretty much there to inflict that defense shred and cleanse your whole team. And of course, Bomb, still amazing. And Wangman is really, really good with E-Ring. So I will say, light element, they definitely need like a tanky, bruiser DPS type unit. And Asensio might be, he might be the unit that we needed. But the only thing that's worrying me is the Revolution base notes. Like, the Revolution base notes for warrior characters is just not that powerful. Like, when you take a look at ranged units, look at this. You have attack increase. You have crit damage increase. What else do we have? Max cooldown reduction. You have basic attack pierce. Like, for ranged units, it's like their base notes, you're focusing on amplifying their damage, amplifying their accuracy, attack speed. It's crazy. And I'm pretty sure for mage characters, when we take a look at mage characters, their base notes, attack increase, crit rate increase, accuracy increase, a special move pierce. Man, it's like if they're trying to make warrior DPS characters, then they gotta do something about the base notes. Like, the base notes are just completely dog shit for warrior DPS units. So they definitely got to do something about that. But for the next two upcoming characters, Reflejo, he's not going to be a pure DPS character, so the base notes won't affect him that much. But for Asensio, I don't know. The base notes, I don't know how the base stones are going to benefit him if he's going to deal powerful damage like they said. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. Really excited for the next update, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get these two new characters. I feel like they're definitely going to benefit my account for sure. And yeah, looking forward to the fall festival update. But that's pretty much all I have for you guys in today's video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. Just wanted to yap with you guys, and let's get to 4K subscribers. All right, let's get to 4K. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I also have a Discord server. I'm gonna post a link in the comment section down below if you need help with build, help with which characters you should summon for, anything. Join the Discord server. I highly recommend new players to join it because a lot of veteran players on my server can help you out. So hope you guys have a good one. I'll be catching you guys soon. Peace.